Assalamualaikum and good evening. You're now with me, Yusuf Shukri, for TVS Nightline, our top story. Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng announces bigger allocation for the Sarawak Basic Needs Assistance, or SKAS, to ease the rising cost of living. He allocates 640 million ringgit for next year's rollout, expected to benefit more than 1 million Sarawakians in the region.
Therefore, the revised assistance will be disbursed once in every 4 months as follows. 1. Households with income of 5,000 ringgit and below will see their annual support increase by 150 ringgit from 800 to 950 ringgit. For each disbursement, recipient will receive 316 ringgit. 2. Senior citizen without partners or children earning 5,000 and below will receive an increase of 100 ringgit from 400 ringgit to 500 ringgit. For each disbursement, recipient single will receive 166 ringgit. And 3. Single individuals with income of 2,500 and below will benefit from an increase of 50 ringgit, raising their assistance from 250 to 300. And for each disbursement, recipient will receive 100 ringgit.
The allocation is placed under Sarawak's 2026 budget and clarified that revised assistance will be disbursed once every 4 months. The government is taking this approach not just to manage budget, but also to improve quality of life while preventing those who deserve assistance from being left out from receiving aid.
The Sarawak government is set to implement a 7% salary increase for state civil servants in 2026 with an allocation of 56 million ringgit. Abang Johari explains that this increase marks the second adjustment following the 8% hike earlier this year, which was supported by a 67 million allocation. He adds that strengthening Sarawak's public service remains vital as the region pursues its development agenda under the PCDS 2030.
This revised salary scheme is intended to ease the financial pressures faced by officers and help them manage the rising cost of living.
At the same time, Abang Johari expresses his appreciation to the federal government for allocating 6 billion ringgit to Sarawak under the Malaysia Budget 2026. He calls the allocation a positive step towards addressing regional development gaps under the Madani framework.
This increase, though incremental from 5.9 billion last year, reflect a positive step towards addressing regional development disparities under the Madani framework. However, I must respectfully highlight that Sarawak's development needs still remain substantial. Given our vast geography and unique infrastructural challenges, this allocation, while welcome, is not sufficient to fully bridge the gap between Sarawak and Peninsula Malaysia.
As a result, the current allocation is deemed insufficient to close the long-standing development gap. Meanwhile, from a financial standpoint, Abang Johari highlights that Sarawak is in a strong economic position, with state revenue growing 2.4 times from 5.9 billion ringgit in 2016 to 14.2 billion ringgit in 2024 under his administration.
This achievement was driven by the introduction of new revenue sources, particularly from state tax on petroleum products, where we exercise our right under the Malaysian agreement as so stated in our constitution. So we got extra money. Menposa, ada orang lain janji tapi dia tidak buat. Aluminium, cetek, aluminium, timber, ferroalloy, and polysilicon, and also the introduction of state dividend policy.
Since 2018, the Sarawak government allocated over 10 billion ringgit annually for operational and development expenditure, demonstrating a continuing commitment to ensuring the well-being of the people and advancing the state's development. Now, Sarawak is accelerating efforts to become the country's semiconductor hub and a key player in the region, in line with its goal to emerge as Asia's silicon hub. Under Budget 2026, the state government is strengthening the semiconductor ecosystem through strategic investments, global partnerships and local talent development. A major focus, Abang Johari says, is the partnership led by SMD Semiconductor with international collaborators, including the development of AI-based power systems in partnership with Sarawak Energy, WeTech and Compound Semiconductor Applications Catapult from the UK.
Under this budget, 18 million ringgit will be provided to SMD Semiconductor to accelerate Sarawak's transformation into a national semiconductor hub.
In addition, Abang Johari highlights Sarawak's partnership with Silicon Catalyst to broaden global access to chips developed in the state. He further emphasizes that 2025 has been a pivotal year with the launch of the Sarawak Semiconductor Roadmap 2030, alongside groundbreaking projects such as the Katek AI Power Converter device, showcasing the state's dedication to advancing high-performance, energy-efficient technology.
Moving forward, we will continue to build on this foundation by investing in the following. 1. The creation of 3 new intellectual property assets. 2. Producing Sarawak's first gallium nitride high-electron mobility transistor chip, a cutting-edge semiconductor device known for high speed and high efficiency performance, and this is something first in the world. Number 3, planning for the establishment of AI Chip Integration Center.
This initiative aims to improve energy efficiency and support the state's renewable energy goals, solidifying Sarawak's position as a leader in smart power technology. Meanwhile, Laos Customs Department foiled an attempt to smuggle illegal cigarettes and alcohol worth 450,000 ringgit, including taxes, during an operation at the riverbank of Kampong Surabaya, Laos on October 30th. Director of Customs Sarawak, Dato' Norizan Yahya, says the raid was carried out by the Land and Marine Unit from Laos's enforcement team. In a statement, Norizan says a total of 555,000 cigarettes and 1,552.32 litres of alcohol from various brands were seized. They were all untaxed. He added that the cigarettes and alcoholic beverages are prohibited items under the Customs Prohibition on Imports Order 2023. The case is being investigated under Section 135(1)(d) of the Customs Act 1967. The Customs Department also urges the public to continue providing information on smuggling activities through the toll-free line 1-800-88-8855 or by contacting any nearby customs office. They assured that the identity of every informant will be kept confidential. Israel's genocidal assault on Gaza pushed Palestinian journalists into a harrowing reality, covering a conflict that targeted them, their families, their colleagues and friends, Anadolu reports. Now at least 278 journalists and media workers, mostly Palestinians, have been killed in the Gaza conflict since October 2023. In August this year, Israel did a double airstrike on the 4th floor of Nasser Hospital. The first strike killed 5 journalists who were using the position to capture a signal. While witnesses and paramedics rushed to recover their bodies, Israel fired another strike at the same location while it was filmed live by a Reuters cameraman. According to Wael Al-Dahdu, a veteran Gaza chief for Al Jazeera TV, the informational siege is done systematically. It starts with the closure of crossings, the cut-off of power, water and communications done by jamming, internet blackouts, loss of equipment, as well as logistical support. Israel's devastating campaign included sustained attacks on Gaza's telecommunications infrastructure, with physical damage to mobile towers and fiber optic cables, causing repeated blackouts and crippling journalists' ability to transmit reports. The assault soon targeted the journalists themselves, with numerous documented cases of targeted attacks on clearly identifiable press personnel, a violation of international humanitarian law, which designates journalists as protected civilians. The Gaza Government Media Office reports at least 256 Palestinian journalists, including several women, have been killed by the Zionist regime. Others, such as the International Federation of Journalists, IFJ, and UN experts, place the figure just slightly lower at 248. According to the IFJ, more than 1 in 10 media workers in Gaza have been killed, a death rate dramatically higher than any other occupational group. Belgium is bracing for widespread disruptions as a 3-day national strike began on Monday with protests against government austerity measures aimed at reducing the national debt. The strike is being rolled out in 3 phases. Monday saw significant disruptions to public transport, with train services severely limited, with the National Railroad Company SNCB expecting to run only 1 or 2 out of every 3 trains. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, public services including schools, daycare centers and hospitals are set to join the action. And on Wednesday, unions have called for a nationwide general strike, which will impact all sectors. There will be no flights operating on Wednesday at Belgium's 2 main airports, Bruxelles, Zaventem and Charleroi. Now back in Malaysia, the number of fraud cases involving unlicensed foreign domestic worker recruitment, dubbed maid scammers, increases significantly this year. From January to October alone, 15 cases were recorded, accounting for 50% of the 30 cases reported to the police, resulting in a total loss of 260,972 ringgit. Deputy Minister of Human Resources, Datuk Seri Abdul Rahman Mohamad, says 11 cases occur in 2023, with 4 cases in 2024, before the number sharply increases this year.
Berlaku peningkatan kes pada tahun 2025 menandakan kewujudan semula sindiket yang agresif mengeksploitasi penggunaan melalui platform digital, iklan palsu dan tawaran pengambilan pembantu rumah palsu dalam talian. Kementerian Sumber Manusia KESUMA sentiasa komited untuk mementeras penipuan berkaitan pengambilan pembantu rumah, melindungi mangsa, memastikan majikan tidak dieksploitasi dan menjamin bahawa hanya agensi berlesen, telus dan sah saja beroperasi di Malaysia.
He adds that under the Private Employment Agencies Act 1981, Act 246, enforced by the Department of Labour Peninsula Malaysia JTKSM, only licensed private employment agencies APS are allowed to conduct recruitment activities, including the recruitment and placement of foreign domestic workers. Therefore, any agent or individual engaging in unlicensed recruitment activities is committing an offence under Section 7(2) of Act 246, and if convicted, faces a fine of up to 200,000 ringgit or a prison sentence of up to 3 years, or both. Get all the updates you need all in one app. TVS Inspire brings you live updates on events, news and programs, available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. TVS Inspire, world on your screen, anytime, anywhere. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Yusuf Shukri. Thank you for watching. Good night. Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye.